obviously, I have to bring up the fact that Donald Trump attacked a city that is in your state, and he referred to Baltimore as rodent-infested. Your initial statement said, that we're tired of attacks between politicians. It didn't quite seem fair to me to describe that as attacks between politicians. Elijah Cummings doing his job on the Oversight Committee, and Donald Trump sort of making an ad hominem attack.
Well, so on Friday, I gave a national address, live national television, to the National Governors Association, talking about that we have to do something about the angry rhetoric and the divisiveness and all the attacks and this politics that's infecting America and that's making it impossible for us to get anything done in Washington. 14 hours later, we had another perfect example of exactly what I was talking about. And I said the last thing I need to do is jump in there and have more angry reaction to the angry reaction back and forth. There were plenty of people in America that were tweeting back and forth. I just said, let's just stop all the tweeting and let's focus on how are we going to solve some of these problems by working together. That's what America wants.
I agree. I do agree. There is that. And again, I don't want to say that politics wasn't divisive before Donald Trump. Certainly, you would know that better than me. You come from, your family comes from politics, so you know the long history of it. Your father was the first Republican congressman to call for the impeachment of Richard Nixon. So
right.
I think you understand the history of divisiveness. It does seem like every time we say these attacks have to stop, when we're talking about something that's so specific to what Donald Trump did, it is spreading out the blame in a way that's not quite fair.
Well, so I said the comments, the tweet was outrageous and unacceptable and inappropriate. That's a pretty strong comment. But I didn't jump in and start jumping into the fray and getting into the mud with everybody else. But look, I was elected 4 years ago. I just got reelected. In my inaugural address in January of 2015, I talked about trying to move away from the extremes of either party and to try to do something about the broken politics in America. It's what I've been focused on for 4 years. It's why, as you pointed out, I'm one of the most popular governors in America. Not because I'm just such a great, fun guy, but because we're doing what I think most people want. And they just, regardless of whether they're Republican or Democrat, they want all this nonsense to stop, and they want us to just sit down and figure out a way to come up with bipartisan, common-sense solutions to the serious problems that are out there.
I think because of that and because of the things you were saying about yourself, there was some talk about would you maybe run against Donald Trump at the primary. You've decided against that, and you've said that basically it does right now seem like a party that is obviously very satisfied with him. Do you think that this is a permanent situation where the Republican Party is the party of Donald Trump, or do you see a future where that is not the case?
Well, it's definitely not going to be the case forever. It's either going to be next year or 4 years after that, right? It's not always going to be the party of Donald Trump. And there were a lot of people that were approaching me because I'm a different kind of Republican that's been talking out in different ways. But it didn't make any sense. I mean, look, I think there's a majority of people in America who agree with some of the things I'm talking about, but they don't know who the heck I am, number one. Number two, the Republican primary
I think
voters.
you're as famous as Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
not quite.
so short. Look at this guy, right?
Yeah,
You remember him.
Look at
Yeah.
these moves. Look at this. But, in a Republican primary, those voters seem to be still pretty stuck on Donald Trump. But there are an awful lot of people in the middle in America that would like to see us go in a different direction.
Keep up the good work on climate change. I'm really glad, and try to convince all the other governors that you're right on that. And thanks for making the time for us. Really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Seth.
Governor Larry Hogan, everybody.